somebody's in Nichols Hills and is wanting their yard done,
They know who
yeah.
it is.
Or they see your truck and then,
Yeah.
oh, let's look at it. Oh, that'll be. I mean, you make it hard to contact. And another thing about, because I see this firsthand, because it's just me in here. All that shit takes time. And so it is. Like I said, you want to go get your work done.
You can set up. I learned this on my internship with Instagram. If you made like an account, I don't know Facebook too. You can time it to where it'll just post it on its own.
Yeah.
And you can have time posts, so you wouldn't take the time out of your day to do it. It would just you would pick it up. I didn't know that. I learned that, and I'm a
Okay.
kid, and I didn't know you could do that.
I use, and I don't. I've got a girl that works for me that uses. It's called Hootsuite. HOOTSUITE. And it has time posts, just like what you said on. Mine go on LinkedIn and Instagram and Facebook, and you can have so many. You can have an account that's free or only costs so much a month, and you get this many places. And then if you want to expand it, it costs more. And that's
What was the name of that?
Hootsuite. HOOTSUITE. And it does. I mean, just automatically. Again, because I'm busy. Nobody's going to take at 10 o'clock every day. Stop and post something. And you like to do it as you. And I still add stuff. If something comes up during the day, then I can say, oh yeah, and add something else posted on my page. But at least there's consistency, and that is a key. I don't know if they talk about that in marketing. That's a key thing.
Yeah.
It's just consistency.
It's gotta be
It doesn't have to be. You don't need a $10,000 ad that everybody thinks is awesome and that they see it one time. It's that they got to see your name over and over and over and over, and it adds legitimacy to your company too. That Sterling Graham's probably one of the oldest. I think their license number is 2.
Yeah, we're 81 years.
Yeah, and which is awesome. Ought to be promoted that, hey, we've been doing this longer than anybody else. But right now, again, you look on Google, it looks like they're barely a company.
Yeah.
And that should, I mean, sad to say, but that is people just form their impressions off what they see.
Don't know.
Yeah, that, oh, you're a,
No, that is what I realized the most when I did this thing over us. I couldn't even write it about that we do lawn care and tree services. There's nothing online about it. I had to switch completely to just pest control only. 'Cause
Yeah.
That's the only thing we have
yeah,
that's anywhere out there on the internet.
Which is crazy if you think about it. Like then, how much like people admire Dave's work ethic is why he's still in business.
yeah,
He would be
It's-
gone.
yeah.
If it wasn't for him.
yeah. And with that, and that gets us to a topic we're going to talk about here more in a minute, but it is, that's awesome, but it also sucks.
Yeah.
Because we saw this when he got hurt. That if he goes down,
You
then
got nothing.
this whole company is not worth shit. And it needs to be,
Right.
yeah. That, I mean, if something happened now, and you're kind of seeing it because Woody left, but if he would have really been hurt then and couldn't work it out, I mean,
We had nothing.
yeah. So, and that's good. I'll get back to that in a minute, but because I talk about there's the 2 pillars: there's sales and marketing, there's production. And most people, personality-wise, they lean one way or the other. You got to have both. The third thing that almost, because people are naturally gravitated towards one or the other of these just based on their personality. Like I said, I'm trying to think which of our friends you know, but you you don't know any of them well enough. But when Doug's friends, when we all worked there was Scott. I'm more of this. I want to work.
That's like Chris and Stacey DeGraff agreed. He's
Yeah.
the sales, she's the worker.
Exactly, yeah, and but then we had guys like Lance, and I don't know how well you know Lance. Lance is a lot better. He goes out and he likes to go shoot the shit with people, and all that. I mean, everybody when you're young, everybody argues over which one's more important, but all of them are necessary. But the third one, which almost nobody's naturally good at, and everybody thinks they are, is management. And this is going to be coming into more some of the stuff you could be doing too.
Okay.
But management is, accounting's part of it, obviously, of how much are you making for each job? How much are you going to spend to get that job? And you can't just do all this in your head. It's the accounting of, okay, where are we at? What's our budget? Do we need to buy a new truck? Do we need to buy a new trailer? How much are we spending on chemicals? And that's, accounting's part of it. It's a big word. It's resource allocation. And again, that's where sales guys want to sell.
Mhm.
These guys want to work. But management is deciding, okay, what is the most effective way that we're going to do?
Both.
Yeah.
Mhm.
Yeah. How much? I mean, you can't focus. Some are more sales driven. You know, some people focus like 50% of their money, of their cash towards sales. Some do 5%. That's a management decision, and it's depending on what stage of the company you're in. Are you wanting to grow, or you want to take more cash home? These are all decisions we'll get into a lot deeper, but there's certain activities, and this is one because again, your dad's real good at this. He doesn't like this. Like, okay. We need to know, what did you do that day, and that's.
You blew my mind when you told me that they don't count. When you said like you don't measure how much you use on each property, like you
Mhm.
know, but you don't know like how much chemicals.
Well, Dave's the only one.
I know, and that's
Stop.
just crazy to me because it's like you have to have a certain amount, I guess, you use. It just blows my mind.
No, and it's because.
He's
and-
all productivity.
Yeah, and this was going on when when I came back and was working, because that's, again, I worked there when I was in college. When I was a contractor, when I was going back to school to be a CPA, I would work there some because I can't even remember what happened, but something happened. They had somebody spraying and they quit, and then your dad was working on rent houses a lot, so I would do a lot of their spraying. I'd go down to Norman to do a yard for $25, and like,
Yeah. It's not worth it.
No.
yeah, and that's where, and I don't know if you've seen anything about job costing, or basically you should know how much each one of these
Yeah.
yards costs.
So you can add it into
Yeah.
your budget.
And are you charging them enough? Are you charging too little? If if you go on a pest control job, and I have no idea on pest control, I've been on the round, a couple times I go help, but I don't know much about the economics of it.
It's not very hard. I mean, I really don't know much on pricing on too much on what we do there.
Okay.
I know it's pretty expensive.
Yeah, and that.
You could learn.
Well, yeah, you're gonna learn real quick.
Yeah.
You're gonna have to. That's where we're at here. Everybody's gonna have to learn some stuff. But yeah, it's still, there's a certain amount of chemical or product or whatever that goes on each job. That's one cost. There's a certain amount of time that you have to do this job. That's another cost. Which before you leave today, I need your hours today since the last pay period.
Okay. I'll just text it to you when I get up there today.
Okay, but these are so we need to figure out, okay, on each job, there's going to be some that you're charging people way too low, or that they're just unprofitable because you got to drive an hour to get there, and we got you get paid this much, but you spend an hour, and not even how much you're getting paid, because part of this is you only have so much time in a day.
Yeah.
If all these jobs you're going to make $100 a job, and all these you're going to make 50. If we've only got you working, you're going to school and you're only working 6 hours a day, we want you on the ones that pay more, not the ones that don't pay. But we need to know what that I got a good feel here, because that drives me nuts. I wanted, again, they make them, but almost nobody I've ever worked for uses them. So I work for other spray companies too, but they make meters where you can tell how much chemical you sprayed out of the tank per yard. If you're doing a lot of residential, it's like, no, I want to know this took 35 gallons, and how much should it take, but so I can calculate how much should we be charging for the job. But again, this is getting into the management of, and the software is